Okay, hi, Facebook friends. This is my official tarot reading for the election tomorrow. I don't know if you remember, I did a very basic reading a little while ago about like when Trump came down with COVID. Um, that was pretty accurate, to be honest. And now I decided to do a reading tonight because I think most people's intentions are a lot clearer, or a lot more clear than they were before. I mean, the night before, I think most people voting tomorrow know their intentions pretty well. So it could make for a more accurate reading than before. And a lot of people already have. What's crazy, I heard on NPR today that the amount of people with mail in ballots that have mailed in their vote is 2/3 of the entire population that voted last in the last election. So 2/3 of the amount of people that voted last year have voted in this election by already mailing in their ballots prior to tomorrow. So the number of people voting is just unprecedented this election. Thank God. And anyway, I think the intentions are pretty clear. And so I decided to ask the universe how it'll go, how it will play out. Okay, so let's just get into it. The first card that I came up with was the Five of Swords, which is one of the keywords for this card is defeat. Swords have to do with logic, with opinions, with rational things. And the five signifies conflict, differing opinions, but the Five of Swords specifically can refer to nastiness, like a nasty argument, but particularly like losing that argument, so defeat. And I thought this was very appropriate because Trump is now the sitting president. He is running for re-election. So with defeat being the first key word, I would say that that is a sign that he's going to lose, which is great for me. Like, I'm a Biden supporter. And I think most of my friends are at this point. So hopefully that is a good sign, good news for you. But the second card that came up, really the only concerning card, was Justice Reversed. I mean, if you just think about the word justice, that's pretty indicative of what this card represents. Like, this is a pretty basic symbol, like swords represent truth, and the scales of justice hanging on the sword of truth. That's pretty self-explanatory. But it being reversed means that something unfair, something not balanced, something unfair, something unjust is going to take place. And just from what I've heard from like my little time listening or watching news, it makes a lot of sense because I've seen things about how Trump has already said how he's going to call the election before all the votes are counted. And like I mentioned earlier, with this year having so many mail-in ballots, I think that's going to be, and just so many more votes actually, just in general. Like I don't know, like it's probably, I mean, this is my personal prediction that more people will come out to vote tomorrow than like ever before. I think this will be a record-setting election. And I think that has to do with something with what Trump is going to do, with what something's going to happen. I guess it doesn't necessarily have to be Trump that does it, but something unjust, something unfair. And to me, it makes sense that that would be something having to do with the ballots, with the votes themselves and how they're counted, or being premature in that. So, and then the next card I have is the Queen of Cups, which is a good card. The Queen of Cups is very intuitive. She's very in tune with her emotions. And I think that that's probably going to be a very big theme of this election, people voting based on their feelings. And the Queen of Cups is very discerning in her own emotions. And this card just signifies really like knowing what you really feel. And I think that that's going to come out as a big theme in this election, that people are scared of the current administration. And on the other side, too, people are scared of losing their freedom. So that's a legit fear if they really believe that. And also, most of the left and some of the right probably, like, we really see the lack of empathy and the lack of compassion and the lack of love just in general. All those things are things that go in cups. They're flowy things that a cup can hold. So I think that it's going to be clear what the American people really feel, what we want, what we desire from this election. So after this gets resolved, I think it's going to be made very clear about what we want as the American people. And then finally, this being the final outcome card is the Ace of Cups, which is a very, very, very good card. It signifies a brand new beginning, a brand new opportunity for all those flowy things I just mentioned, like compassion and empathy and love and anything flowy. So I think that the Ace of Cups is going to show that these things that it's clear that we wanted, that were clear from this card, we're going to have that. We're going to be able to grasp that cup that we want so bad and be able to drink from that and have that brand new source of empathy and compassion and love and all those watery things. So it made me feel a lot better doing this. I think a lot of us are very anxious tonight. I was looking at that beautiful sunset we had, and it seemed like a sign from the universe that like a friend said, there's hope on the horizon. And so then I just did this tarot reading, and it did feel a lot more hopeful. So if you want, you can hang on to this until tomorrow if you need to, if you need some hope. And I really, I'm not going to claim that this is exactly how it's going to go, but I don't think I would ever really trust the tarot cards completely to tell me like how things are going to turn out. But it is a way to look at it in a hopeful way to, just see things from a less anxious and scared perspective. And if you want, you can go and look at what you think these cards mean for yourself. There's a lot of stuff on Google. You can just search any of these cards. We have the Five of Swords, Justice reversed, the Queen of Cups, and the Ace of Cups. If you want, you can just make your own interpretation based on what you read. I always recommend that. But this is what the first things that came to my mind anyway. So I hope that helps somebody feel better tonight. I know it sure helped me. So go vote tomorrow. Make sure you're voting and your feelings are clear in your vote. And hopefully we will be able to grasp that opportunity. Good luck, everyone.